So there is another bombshell book about the Trump administration. Of course, we know it's very clear to the public that the Trump administration has essentially been in shambles and just been in complete and utter chaos. Obviously, with all of the different moves that they've had to do, with Rex Tillerson being out, Anthony Scaramucci, and Sean Spicer, and all these different people being moved out, Trump shitting on his attorney general in public, it's insane. It's unbelievable, right? Definitely never would have thought of that happening. But so this bombshell book has come out by Bob Woodward. Now, I guess he is somebody who's been working at the Washington Post since '71, which is a very fucking long time. He's an associate editor there now. And it's hard not to believe what he's saying. It's very hard. He has some recordings apparently as well, one with Trump. And so, it's tough to not believe what he says, but I'm going to go through in a couple segments here, breaking down some of the things that he said in his book. Now, this one we're going to be looking at is, he said that Gary Cohn, who used to be his economic advisor, stole a letter off Trump's desk. Now, this one is interesting and very hard not to believe, and I'll tell you why. It says, President Trump's former top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, twice pulled paperwork off of Trump's desk that the president was intending to sign to withdraw the United States from trade agreements, according to a forthcoming book from veteran journalist Bob Woodward. The Washington Post, which obtained an advance copy of the book, reported Tuesday that Cohn, quote, stole a letter off Trump's desk that would have formally withdrawn the U.S. from a trade agreement with South Korea. Cohn later told an associate that Trump didn't notice the letter was missing. Cohn also reportedly said he took the letter from Trump to protect national security. The then director of the National Economic Council separately pulled a different letter from Trump's desk in 2017 that would have pulled the U.S. out of the NAFTA agreement. Quote, why aren't we getting this done? Do your job. It's tap, tap, tap. You're just tapping me along. I want to do this. Trump reportedly told then staff Rob Porter. If you remember Rob Porter, he had, I believe, the domestic abuse allegations, and he was the guy who he literally handed Trump every paper that he would sign. It goes on to say, Porter then drafted a letter notifying NAFTA officials that the U.S. would withdraw, concerned that doing so could trigger an economic crisis. He turned to Cohn for consultation. Quote, I can stop this. I'll just take the paper off his desk. And that is the claim made by Bob Woodward. It's hard not to believe him. It's really hard not to believe him. Obviously, this guy seems to have a lot of credibility. He's been in the reporting game for literally decades now, a serious amount of time. It's hard to find much intent that he would be malicious. And it just seems, generally speaking, he seems to have a good amount of credibility and we should be able to trust him. So there's that. But I don't see how this could be all that surprising to really anybody. I mean, we know what Trump is like. Trump is someone who is just so. Remember when he would come into the room to sign an executive order, and he would walk out of the room. There would be the press conference, and he would walk out of the room forgetting to actually sign the executive order. And Mike Pence would have to go, hey man, you need to sign this, because he just straight up forgot. So. And, the president, being the president is an extremely stressful job. You got a shit ton of things on your mind at all times. So it's not, too hard to believe, or it's not inconceivable that he was just so many fucking things on his mind that, this paper gets taken from your desk and boom. And, I mean, come on, man. The dude's like a child. So remember Rex Tillerson said, they would formulate their policy as Secretary of State for foreign relations policy based on his tweets. So listen, man, I really have a hard time not believing this, and if there's some way to actually factually disprove this, I'd be really shocked. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below.